It's a brand that literally harnesses talent all over the globe. So whether you're a creative, you're a singer, you're whoever you are, as long as you have a talent that you need to showcase, Taylor is at this time the plug for you, right? And this is Talent Talk, part of Hila's program, where we get to share stories from our individual guests who comes, because we believe Rome was not built in a day, but every day they built. And that brings us to having an amazing, spectacular individual who likes to, who is fond of helping creatives do better, helping creatives to know that, oh, whatever gadgets you have, you can actually start, whether it's content creation or whatever you think you can, to put yourself out there, and you don't need to break the bank. And that brings me to also him being known, or popularly being known as the King of Lights on the streets of Instagram. So, ladies and gentlemen, make welcome
Oh my
Chibuzor
goodness.
Ossai, aka Hello Chibuzor. So please, can you guys give him a thumbs up with on the emoji? What is your emojis flying everywhere? We appreciate you. We're excited that you are here. So yes, Chibuzor. Who is Chibuzor?
Who is Chibuzor Ossai? That's hold on. It's funny, I'm trying to share the stuff on my story so we can maybe get more folks joining. So I've
Of
been trying
course.
to do that while you were giving me that wonderful introduction. I'm like, is this intro for me? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
intro is
goodness. But Well, yeah, who is Chibuzor? Very interesting, right? I mean, I don't think I get asked that question a lot, but I, um, hmm, I am a Nigerian, a firstborn in Nigeria, right? That loves his family, loves God, and also has a heart for helping people. I think that's just to put everything into, in summary, right? I just love being useful. I think that's the word. Right? I just love being useful. I love the fact that, I'm able to learn something, and, that thing I've learned can help one more person, which is always my goal on the internet, to help one person every day, right? It doesn't matter, the kind of content I've made that day. My goal is, as long as this stuff has helped me, or as long as I found this thing useful, I think to help one person. So that's who I am, right? I'm the guy that just likes to share things that I've learned that's helped me. I'm the guy, that is surviving in Nigeria, just like most people in this, life tonight is what's it called? Navigating being a Nigerian, right? A dedicated worker in my church, right? What else? What else? What else? Like I'm just trying to find, I love to cook once in a while, right? If it's not Indomie, I mean, I stopped eating Indomie for for the whole of 2026. But I think that's pretty much, me in a nutshell. I don't like leaving my house, so most of my content you see are shot in this studio. What else? I'm a lover boy, right? I love love. Another thing too. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much who I am, essentially.
okay. So from this definition of who you are, we get to see that there's a blend of both your life offline and then your life online. Now you made mention of there was
Oh
a
yeah.
keyword in the highlight of you was you said you like to be useful. And it shows that okay, I think that's the core of who you are. That's like literally your core of existence, trying to be, useful. Now, talking about being useful, how do you think that the creative industry, which is where you are right now, is showing that usefulness with their content? Like those who you've followed so far, what would you make out of it?
Well, when it comes to being useful, right? The Yes, it can be relative. Showing this video is paused due to your network. Is it my network or your network? Please confirm you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? If you can hear me, then it's fine. Then
Okay, I think I support that
okay, you
upgrade.
guys are fantastic. All right. All right, so being useful, like you rightly asked, right? The people that I follow, how do I see their usefulness, or how useful do I think they are in the industry? And like as I was saying, being useful is very, very relative, right? Being useful can be you trying to entertain somebody, right? For me, being useful is teaching you how to do more with what you have. For some other person, it could be making or putting a smile in your face, that day or every day. It could be inspiring you to do so much more, just to make you stand up and do something. I think I have a friend like that, Salem. He does, he's very good at making you get up, go do it, stand up. So it varies from person to person, right? So different industry would birth different creators that will come out and do different things that would be useful to different categories of people. Right. So yeah, so I would say to a large extent, useful is relative one, and everybody, has somewhat defined what being useful, as means to them essentially. So yeah, I hope I got the
Okay,
question correctly.
yes, you did actually. Now,
All right.
we know that you are a content creator, and you've also gotten the opportunity to know who you are from here, offline, and then online. Was
All
there ever
right.
a time in your life when you told yourself that this is the path you want to take, this is exactly what you want to do, or you just, let yourself do it?
I think I lost you. Did you ask? Was there ever a time where I thought of being a content creator?
Oh, yes. Was there ever a time you thought of being a content creator, or you just found yourself doing it, or the economy started made you to?
The answer, I think the answer to that, is no. Right. I did not see myself being a content creator. Right. Though, I mean, I think I would say I've had interest in probably social media, right? But I wouldn't say becoming a content creator. I ventured into content creation because of Sakpa.
Thank you for
Right.
being
I ventured
honest.
into content creation out of the need to make money. And that was in, like, I think early, I can't remember, I think 2020, I think early 2020 or something, right, was when I just tried content creation, right? And that was because I needed to just make more money. I was working somewhere, right? But the money I was making was not able to do anything, right? And I'm like, you know what? And I think back then the whole reels, so it was more of pictures back then, but reels was popping up, but it was not on Instagram that much. It was on there's this app that has to do with dancing and stuff. And I saw people that were always posting fashion videos, and I'm like, they're making money. How are they doing it? So I'm like, you know what? If these folks are doing this thing and are making a living out of this, why not just start? And that was how I started content creation. And trust me, my friends were like, "This boy not get sense." But yeah, I think that's just pretty much it. I mean, to answer the question was, one, I didn't plan to be I did not it did not it was not something I was looking forward to. It was something that just came out of the need to survive. Right. I'm like, you know what, if I'm to make more money, I think this part look like something, I mean, something that is legal, one, I mean, very, very legal to make money. I mean, okay, this part looks genuine. Okay, why not try this? And yeah, that's how I got here. By trying my luck.
So
So
you've
yeah.
tried your luck, and your luck has actually brought you this far. So when you started content creation, and thank you for being honest anyway, it was Sapa that made you. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's for the love, it's for the passion, blah, blah, blah. But you were really honest. Now, talking about this, did you start making money immediately, or it took you a while?
I keep losing you. Did I what? Come again.
Okay, you talked about moving into content or attempting content creation to make
Yeah.
money. That's
Yeah.
you being content engineer. So when you
Mm-hmm.
started content, was it paying off immediately or it took you some time?
It took me close to 4 years. It took me to 2024 to start making money off of content creation. So Yes, I think that answers the question. It took me, close to 4 years to make money from content creation. So yeah.
Okay, now 4 years ago, it's literally different from the speed of now. Do you think people who are starting now are going to make money faster, or it's relative?
That's a very interesting question. Hmm. I would say right now there's every possibility that if you start now, you will make money, right? And that's because there are like so many ways right now to make money, especially if you start and you venture into, I think it's called UGC content, where you are not, making the content for yourself, but you're making the
Mhm.
content for a particular person or brand or something. So I think back then compared to now, I would say the scale to making money, isn't that large anymore. You can start today, and maybe in 2 3 months you can start making money if you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay, guys, emphasis on if you know what you're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, maybe you might not even if you don't know what you're doing, you might you might get something. Okay, okay. We know that aside content creation, there's something you have. You have like a business. Can you tell us about it?
Actually, what? Come again. I keep losing
Aside,
you. Like,
aside, aside,
okay,
aside content creation, aside the
okay.
Chibuzor of the sea, we know there's one small teeny mini business that he has, and maybe we want to send
Come on,
proposal
network.
or CV, we can apply, stuff like that. Can you tell us about it?
This is CV. All right. So the thing is, I did not fully get the question. It was breaking, but I'm guessing you're asking outside of content creation, how do I have other sources of income? Is that what
Yes,
you're
yes,
asking?
yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay, okay,
yes.
okay.
And we did our research.
Did
We
your
you have
research.
a
What are you
smart
finding? What are
one.
you saying? You
I
these
don't want to
people.
talk about. I don't want to mention. I want you to mention. So we can send CV. Guys, you want to say you don't want to send CV, you don't want to work with people.
Oh my
So
God. So outside of what's it called, content creation, I think it's the first time I'm saying this anywhere, but I think not that I think content creation, I make most of my money off of content creation. All right, so that aside, but outside of that, what I do is, I own a video agency, right? Which I don't know for some reason I'm just not, pushing it. But anyways, I have that. Outside of that, I do coaching. I teach people, the things that I know, right? I teach group of people. I also spend time, with a person, just take my time to mentor, one person. So then outside of that, what else do I do? I sell products, all right? Classes that I've held or that I've, done in the past. I just host them, to resell them. I think that's pretty much it. Right. I think that's pretty much how I make money on the internet. Money from the internet and off the internet. Off the internet is I have work that I do for brands. I shoot videos for events, businesses to help them make more money or to document certain memories. Then online is hosting classes, mentorship, consultations, and brand deals. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
not pretty much a whole lot. Like you mentioned about 5 to 6 days like that, like you do now. Okay. Looking back, you recently, made a post on Instagram. I mean, I
Okay.
follow you a lot, and you talked about a particular person who, made saw you in the light of content creation, and then decided to, oh, I think this guy is going to go for it. Let me do one or two impact in his life, and
Okay.
that's initially. What role has he played in your life to this very moment?
Oh, network. God, I beg. I keep losing you.
God, I
You-
beg.
Like you start,
God,
you
I
start the
beg.
content, then you get somewhere to freeze, then to jump. So I've missed the question.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me rephrase.
I'm really
Like,
sorry.
let me
Okay, like,
rephrase. Now,
yeah.
I know I've been following you for a while. I think for some years now. of recent, you talked about,
Mhm.
the relationship you have held so far, and
Okay.
that's building, a concrete relationship with a particular person who has been there for you, who saw you and felt, oh, I think this guy is going to be this in the nearest future. Why don't I, invest in his life by giving him a ring light? And to our surprise, we we saw the ring light that you have. At some point, you even patched it with a you did a little bit of patching here and there. And to us, it really means it. So I know to some of the followers, it means, but for those who really don't care and build a relationship, how were you able to nurture that relationship to this very moment? And what role has that guy played in your life?
I will just paraphrase how I think I got the question, right? Because it broke again or it froze again. But anyways, I think you're so I'm guessing so if I get you correctly, you're asking, how has that relationship played in my
Yeah,
life?
in your life. Yes. And how were you able to
Oh,
build it to this very moment? Yeah.
so I think for me, one thing I had to learn early, as a firstborn in Nigeria, hustling and surviving, is that you cannot do this life alone. That's the honest
Mhm.
truth. Like you can't do life alone. No matter how talented you are, no matter how smart you are, you cannot do this life alone. Luckily for me, I would say God has just, helped me, put certain people in my paths, that's just, helped me in my journey, be it in content creation or in my faith, in my whole Christian faith with God. Right. God has just always placed people there for me. And she was one of those people, that God has just placed in my life. Both, for content creation, and for in my spiritual life too. Right. So how has that played out? For me, it's just, respecting people, right? Treating people as human beings, not making our friendship transactional, right? We just we go out, we laugh, we bond outside of the internet. We talk business, future, relationships, like we connect. It's just like fellowship with God. Every morning you wake up, you have a devotion, right? I'm not saying every morning I have talk with Shay, but there's just this connection we've built over time, right? That's helped us stayed, strong even after all these years, right? Funny enough, I don't think we've ever had any, disagreements per se. We've never. We just understand, ourselves. I know the kind of person that he is. He knows the kind of person that I am, right? And that has helped us just, navigate our friendship. So back then, back now, I wouldn't say much has changed, but having somebody that I can always talk to, not woman, like man, on certain things, someone that is very knowledgeable, someone that's smart, street smart, book smart, stuff like that. It just helps, and it's good to just have, someone like that. Okay, I get alpha. I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. So I have this business idea, I have this event, I have this. What do you think? And stuff like that. So I would say it's just a thing of knowing ourselves, and not taking advantage of, our friendship or ourselves, essentially. I respect him, he respects me, and we just, keep it smooth and light. So I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah.
Okay. That I hope you guys are really getting it. The relationship between him and she is not transactional. And so that's a key word there. Okay, moving a little bit from this relationship thing because we're gonna come back to it. Now let's get into the main issue of the day, which is content creation, gears, aesthetics. People want to go into content creation. I want to have everything literally 100%. Oh, my background needs to be fine. I need to have a
Mhm.
good camera. I need to have a good phone. I need to have a mic. I need to have lights and all of these things. But then you try to help them see that, okay, even if you don't have these things, you can still create content. But then we know that when people watch other people's content, say for example, when people watch Chibuzor's content, it's so fine. You will literally show people the kind of lights you use, like over 8 different lights, and you want to tell, you want to encourage somebody who doesn't have the light, like how do you navigate that? How can people, start this whole thing without these gears and then still make it presentable and make it look good?
First of first, thank you guys for liking my gears and liking my videos. Excuse me. All right. So one thing I always try to make people understand or see is the fact that it took me. This is 2026 now. It has taken me at least 6 years to get here. Right. And if you compare my 6 years to your 1 month, then you are getting it wrong. Right. When I started making content, all I had was, an Android phone and sunlight. And I did that for, close to 2 years. Because then I saved up money to buy my iPhone X, which, even after I got that phone, I still didn't have any lights. All right. I just had this passion. Back then, though, what was driving me was, money. This thing can make money. This thing can make money. If you work hard enough, you make money. All right. But anyways, I just digressed. So I got my iPhone X, and till 2020, I think 2024, no, till 2025 was when I switched my iPhone X to I think the iPhone 16 or something. So you see, the timeline that's occurred, like Android, iPhone, latest iPhone, like there's a time difference. So on my page, when I see the comment of King of Light, Light God and stuff, I smile. But I also just want people to understand that yes, while I get this comment, I mean I appreciate the comment and everything. I just didn't start here. Anyways, back to your question. How can they make use of what they have? Aesthetics and all. Yes. Couple years ago, aesthetics was not like the main thing, right? The barrier to making content wasn't, that high. Although different platforms have, different ways, but anyways. So yeah. So my advice would always be, try and think or look outside the things that you know, right? If you've always been in a circle or in an environment where what's it called? The houses looks, I mean, always painted yellow and white for no reason, and the roof, maybe can get work done on them, right? One thing you do is try and find inspiration outside of things that you know. Right. When I moved in here, this space was not like this. It was terrible. Oh my goodness. For now, even now, it's still terrible, but we are making it work. All right, it was terrible. So what helped me was, searching for inspiration outside of the things I already saw. All right, so I went on Pinterest and how can I make my white wall better? Should I shoot flat? Should I shoot into a corner? Like right now, I'm shooting into a corner. All right, these things are things I have to learn. Okay, if I'm shooting on a flat wall, what are things I can add, to this flat wall to make it more interesting? Or add, a flower behind you, or put a lamp behind you. Just those small things matter. And I think people, sometimes can overthink aesthetics. Though I would say that, set design is a very important aspect of making content. Anybody going into content creation should have a good eye for at least set design, making your space look and feel the way you want your audience, to see you, right? But anyways, I've digressed again. But anyways, get inspiration outside of the things that you already know. Search for people that are making the stuff that you want to start making. See how they do or make their videos, right? Copy things from them, or like they say, steal like an artist, right? If they use ring lights, try and figure out how they place their ring lights. If they use their windows, what is behind them? Did they move their TV behind them? Did they move, their mirror behind them? What is so these things are things you need to have the eye for. Because honestly, nobody can really teach you to be fully creative, right? They can maybe teach you how to use your tools, but the creativity aspect is still up to you. How you make your space look is most likely up to you, right? The kind of light you would buy it will be up to you. The phone you would use, up to you. Your chair, up to you, right? So I would say if you're looking into aesthetics, one, research, have good eye for for set design. watch stuff, consume stuff. Also, look at people that are doing the things that you do and see how they make those videos already, and see things you can easily replicate, or steal. I mean, I use this word, steal. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right? Aesthetics also can be overrated. So because when you start thinking of aesthetics, it can take away from the main message you're trying, to communicate. So just find the right balance between, trying to make your space look and feel good, and the work or the message you have to pass. So yeah, research research and still like an artist.
Okay. So the told you guys you can copy and paste, but have a tweak to
Yeah,
your
copy and
copy
paste,
and
but
pasting.
add your
And
yeah, add
add
your
it
own
to your
twist
copy
to
and
it.
pasting. Okay. So
Yeah.
now talking about this in line with that, if for you to have said this, it means there are certain creators or people you look up to in this industry who are doing. So let's have an insight to it.
It's crazy because I don't know so many of them off my head, and they're all not even Nigerian creators, right? Funny how I think when I started making content, I was making fashion video, and at some point I was like, do I want to be 30 or 35 or 40 and be dancing on the internet? All right, so I realized early on that what, if I'm to make content, on this internet, it wouldn't be the regular Nigerian way, which was where the whole cinematic content came from. I think we are like the first people to start this whole cinematic wave, and now any 2 minutes cinematic fonts, cinematic colors. I'm like, God, I beg, let's cinematic rest. But let me see if I can pull up people. Teja, I think she's from Mexico, right? Colts is from UK. Who else? I follow a bunch of creators. I mostly spend my time on YouTube actually, not on Instagram. So I have more Instagram. Okay, I have more Instagram. I have more YouTube people. What is going on? Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can pull up people. Can you guys still see me?
Yes, we can.
Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to pull up. Oh yeah, Brady Bissett. That's like one of my lighting genius I follow. I follow Life of Riza. That's Riza. That's the girlfriend to Colt. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Any for funny, most of these people, I don't think you will know them because they're not Nigerian people. They are mostly, outside the country, and those are the people, I somewhat, not somewhat, look, hmm, is it look up to, or I really just enjoy their content. I love how they think. I love how they shoot certain things. I love their creativity. There's something about, African content per se. When you see like, this person is a Nigerian, this person is Ghana, right? So I just consume things, that I want my content to somewhat look like, right? So those two, most of my influence are people, outside the country, people that have traveled, that have seen things, I mean, a lack of better words, they enjoy cinematic stuff.
Okay, I
So
think we're
yeah,
going to add king of lights slash cinematic stuff to your bio very soon because you mentioned
okay,
cinematic today like how okay, so before we go to the next person, let's do something very, very quickly. Let's do something very, very
okay.
quickly. And it's going to be very sharp. Okay. This is Chibuzor. This is Hello Chibuzor. This is Chibuzor side. Now,
Oh, that's
Chibuzor.
nice. Like you, hold on, like you pronounced my surname correctly, Ossai. That's nice.
Yes,
That's
I'm a host. What?
nice.
Of
I mean,
course, why not?
I've gotten people say Osas, Osa, and I'm like, the heck, that's not my name, fam.
Oh, okay. That's why they call me the premium host anyway. And I can tell
All
you,
right,
if
all
you don't
right,
want
all
to be
right, all
higher
right.
me. Okay, so quick one. Gears or storytelling? Which would you go for?
Both, if I can pick both,
You can't
right?
pick one.
Because because you need gears to tell your story, be it pen and viral, that's a gear. right? Be it you blogging, that's a gear. So story, except you are going back to the 90, 17th century where we stand in the middle of the town, say story time. But if you're in 26, this 21st century, right? They go in hand in hand. But I would always encourage storytelling first before gear. Yeah.
Okay, storytelling from before guess, so storytelling one at that time. All right, next question is jollof rice or fried rice?
Jollof rice. I don't like fried rice. I don't like jollof and fried rice. I don't like it. I don't even know how to cook it. And I don't enjoy it that much. It's just green
Okay.
rice with peas and carrots. And I'm like, the heck? How much?
Oh, okay. Okay. Great. No, we're headed somewhere. Noodles or jollof rice?
I've lost you. Noodles?
Noodles or jollof rice?
Oh, jollof rice, please. Now is jollof rice.
Why am
Now,
I
no, and
nervous?
that's because I stopped eating
Okay.
noodles. I mean, I've tried. It's been over. Today is
Three
6. So
six
that's
of
31 days.
February.
That's 7 days of not having noodles. So come on, I'm trying my best.
Okay, let's clap for you. That's awesome. Okay.
Try.
Okay, all right. That was also a fun way to enlighten us and get us back. Now, you are a filmmaker. Do we see you in the nearest future being a director or one of the Hollywood or Nollywood? We don't know. Are we gonna see that soon?
So I think last year, I was thinking about it. Like, okay, because everybody that makes content, quote unquote, whether they like it, are using attributes of filmmaking to make their content.
Mhm.
Lighting, composition, camera movement, scripting, set design, those things, are all attributes of filmmaking. And I was thinking, okay, do I want to venture into,
Mhm.
shooting of movies, skits and stuff? And I gave it a thought, and honestly, I was like, you know what, this is something I can do. Why not? Right. So in the future, there's every possibility, right? Though I think my love right now is lighting. So even if I have an opportunity to be on set, I would love to be, maybe the main gaffer. That's the lead light engineer on set. So that would light the scene. I think that's something I'm leaning towards to more as I'm experimenting more with light. So that's where my heart is right now. So even if I'm on set, I think I'll start with lighting. But yes, DP, I mean, I'd love to, direct a short movie or probably, be in a cast, or sorry, be in the crew for a big, movie. So yeah, but right now, if I'm to pick one, it would be lighting, just be the lead gaffer or the lead lighting officer for that project. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now it brings me to asking you this question. You
Okay.
are known popularly as the king of lights on Instagram, right? Or Lord of Lights. Lord of Lights.
Okay.
I think when it was said head of lights, now that was when they created Chibuzor. So what exactly what exactly is the main rationale about that? What's the rationale behind it, rather?
Behind, sorry, the first part first. So I had rationale behind it. I'm like, behind what?
Okay. You're known as the king of lights on the streets of Instagram. What's the
Okay.
main rationale behind it? Did you just wake up one day and like, okay, I think because somehow it looks like you're carving
Uh,
a niche when it comes to light. We don't really hear you talk about cameras and all of that, but it's always light. And then you show us, okay, this is the light I recently got. I mean, the other day you showed us 8 different lights. And the money is not small money. So
and
what is the rationale? But you want to start selling lights later? We don't know.
uh, excuse me.
Yeah.
So rationale behind getting light. So for
Mhm.
me, is lighting over any other gear. Right? People don't really say this much, they always speak about, video and audio, how that audio is 50% your video. But the honest truth is lighting, I might be wrong, but this is my opinion. Lighting is, 60% your video.
I agree.
Right. So I've had that mentality growing, I mean, for a very long time. So every time, I have money to invest in my whole content creation or my whole content creating, I just always pick up lighting first, because lighting, it doesn't matter the camera you use. If you shoot in a dark room, you just have, if you use a cinema, let's say $250,000 camera to shoot in a dark room, you get a high quality darkness, right? If you shoot an iPhone in a dark room, you get iPhone darkness. But there's something lighting just does, and it doesn't, and this transcends on any gear camera, any iPhone or any camera you use. It just makes it look really good if you know how to use lighting, right? So lighting. So I think firstly the thinking behind it was, lighting always make your content look good. It improves the look or the quality of your video. One, if you know how to use it well, it also increase the production value of your content. So those are the two mindset behind it. Then now I'm leaning towards rental. Right, that's the business. I think funny how I was to make a video about it today. Like, what? Let's start renting lights, because I've gotten a couple of bookings weirdly from my story. And what if I just announce this and we start lighting business? Who knows? More cash flow. But outside of the whole rental thing, it's just the fact that lighting is always my first go-to to upgrade when it comes to content creation. So yeah.
Okay, so guys, we've really had a very wonderful conversation with Hello Chibuzor. If you have a question for him, can you unmute yourself at this point so we can ask him, or we can actually go ahead, because we're about to wrap it up with our King of Light. So is there going to be a giveaway here, right now?
It's crazy because I used to be the king of how to film, right? The whole how to film craze on the internet. I started that trend, and now I'm not the king of, like, I'm like the internet. There's nothing they will not name you.
They will give me everything. Okay, somebody has a question. Unmute yourself and ask Chibuzor the question, please. Introduce yourself and, let us get your question. We are waiting for you.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak here. Good evening, Mr. Chibuzor Ossai. It's a
Hi, good evening.
privilege to hear you speak. And good evening to our distinguished host, Miss Anne. Yeah, it's my first time.
To our
It's
premium
my
host.
first time joining a Hellas Google Meet conference or whatever you decide to call
Yeah,
it.
welcome.
And I gained a lot of value. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So my question is, please, Mr. Chibuzo,
Okay.
I I interact with a lot of young people aiming to create content, and one of the biggest challenges, I'm not sure this is generic. I'm not trying to generalize it, but yesterday I had a chat with one of my junior colleagues. She had just gotten an iPhone, and I told her, since you got an iPhone, it means that you had a plan before getting it. And she said yes, she wanted to venture into content creation. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay, so you've had this phone for about 2 months now. Why are you not creating? I see that she's shy. She have lost the drive. So please, how the question I'm asking now is how do how do I, as a young person who wants to go into content creation, this is not me, because I don't want to go into content creation. I'm a
Okay.
spoken word artist, and I'm an upcoming musician too. But I'm asking for the people around me. How do I manage shyness as a person who wants to go into content creation? Secondly, I'm asking this one for myself because it's easier to fall than to rise. So the question I'm asking is, please, how if you are how do I put it? Okay, because I'm still upcoming, so I don't ever want to make any mistake going up. Now, the question I want to ask is,
Okay.
if they are to take you back to 6 years ago when you started content creation, what would you have done differently? Like, what is it that you could have done differently?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ari Jam. I think I got that correctly. I mean, you even look
Yes, yes.
like a superstar already. I can see the icon
Yeah,
on your
can
Thank
you
you.
on
imagine?
your, on your DP. I'm like, see celebrity. Oh shit. So to answer the first question about finance, right? Honestly, how do I answer this? So I would say start small, right? If the person, so first thing first is gear doesn't mean you start making content. Gears are always excuse to start or not start. People like to lean on, oh, I'm waiting for this gear to start. But the honest truth is, some people just don't have, what's it called, why they want to start. All right. So, anyways, that's just by the way. So, gear can be an excuse because you said, oh, she got the gear now, or the phone rather, gear, gadgets, or join, right? And now she has not been able to create or has never started creating because I mean, I'm sure our first excuse was the getting the phone, and our second excuse now is shyness. So you see how this whole thing, stack up. But I would say the main reason for this is not having a genuine reason why you want to start content creation. Trust me, that's the honest truth. Right. The moment you have a genuine why you want to start or why you make content, right? For me, first it was money, right? And forget shyness. Back then, people saw me as crazy because my aim was I want to make money, so I was just hustling. Right, that was my first drive to content creation. So if you don't have a why behind why behind the why, right? You will not start. There would always be an excuse. Shyness is one. Even if the person goes to therapy, there will still be another excuse. I don't like the lighting. I don't have window. I don't have tripod. All right. But the main drive to all these things is having a solid why. It could be, oh, I am a doctor or a nurse. And I think people my age, should learn this concerning their health. It could be, I'm an upcoming, spoken word artist, and I've been able to like overcome the challenges of, starting, and starting and getting to this level. And now I want to share with people, how they can start, as the spoken word artist and, get and do it well. So having why is always the first thing, right? And that would always, overcome or beat any excuse. Yes, excuses would happen, right? But having a very solid why. I mean, for me, my first why was to make money, and that why it didn't last long because making money is a very selfish reason. It's not bad, but it's an add-on. It's not like a concrete why. All right. But when I shifted my lens to helping people, right, money started coming. You see. But anyways, having a very good why is how to overcome any challenge, be it shyness, be it gadgets, any excuse, honestly, is having a why. Then second thing would be start small, right? If you want to make talking videos are very, very intimidating, right? You can start small, instead of doing talking, start with carousels first, right? Write out your thoughts, start with that. Maybe once in a while, you can go on your story, or the person can go on their story and show their face. Learn, to at least be present on the internet, right? Show your face, you talk, but start small. The reason why you need to start is because you are building that muscle to do this stuff, even when you are still shy, and that's how you would overcome, the whole, excuse. First, have a reason. Then, secondly, start small and build the rep or get the rep in. Then, to answer your second question, would I change anything? No, honestly, right? I believe if I change something, I wouldn't be here today. That's the honest truth. I believe if my parts, I believe if I had not started in 2020, and I started in 2025, I would not be here today. Right. So I believe if I had not learned, gone to the cafe to learn, how to operate a computer, I'm sure I won't be here today. If I had not learned how to do graphics design, that led to, live sound, that led to voice pop, I won't be here today. So every step, of my journey has, led me here. So there's nothing I would change, honestly. So that's it. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, sir. I
You're
appreciate.
welcome,
Do you have a
Pastor.
specific question? Okay. Does anyone still have a question? So we can go ahead. today because oh okay someone is raising because today we have to do that. We have to utilize his presence because we don't have this
Yeah.
opportunity every time. I suffer. I'm big, I
See how
know.
it's so far.
But let's
You did not
collaborate.
suffer now. How do you mean?
I've been
You can
following you
suffer.
since. I won't fall down. Okay, guys. Okay.
Hey. Oh, I get the joke now.
Okay.
All
Benjamin,
right,
can you
Benjamin, you have
unmute
the
your
floor.
mic?
Okay. Good evening.
All right, good
Okay.
evening.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chibuzor, and good evening, Mrs. Anne. I have two questions actually, and the first one is on social anxiety, and I actually just developed social anxiety, and that was as a result of some factors, because some factors played a role in that. The thing is, since my 100 level to my 300 level, I've always been that, mind your business type of student in the class. Like, I've been gentle and I've been using an Android phone too. So basically, my circle was very, very close, and I stay in a department where we have more rich guys. So when I got to 400 level, I had the drive to start creating content, and I changed my phone in 400 level. So I changed to an XR in this current 400 level. And then all of a sudden, everyone's attention just turned to me. Like, hi, you're using an XR. Like because of the upgrade, I now have more attention to me. But I'm not the type of person that wants that attention. I started content creation not to like not to gather more followers. It's just like create memories where I can say that okay, in the future, okay, this is who I was. It's just like creating memories down for myself in the future. So in the future I can be like, oh, this is who I was. Look at me enjoying myself. And also to my children, my wife, my grandchildren and stuff. Okay, this is who I was. So all of a sudden I just developed that social anxiety. I did not feel like carrying my phone anymore because I'm like everybody's looking at me. Most of them are always like, oh, he's flaunting the new XR. Oh, Mr. Man, we know you're using an XR already. Like, stuff like that. So all of a sudden I just
Yeah.
the I was just demotivated to create content. So
Okay.
social anxiety played a role in that. And also my second question is it right to not create content for the is it right for me to create content without having the aim of making money from the content? Because as I said, I'm creating content for memories. That's all.
All right. So should I answer the first one? All right. So yes, it's absolutely fine to make content without, wanting to make money. I totally get it. Which is why I said the first question was having a why you're doing this, which is very important. Are you doing this because you want to make money in the future, or are you doing this for just fun? Or I think the word they use now is for just documentation, right? Are you just documenting your life as you go, money or no money? This platform or this content is just geared towards documenting your life for yourself, for your future self, and for your children. So yes, it's absolutely fine to make content without making money. But if you now stop because of social pressure, then that now defeats the purpose as to why you're making this content, right? Because I mean, I don't think I'm the best person to like talk about anxiety and stuff, right? But anyways, I would say that if you stop because of that, then that now defeats the purpose of documenting your life, because now there will be days, weeks, months, maybe this thing can turn to years of your life that would have gone by that you would have missed. That probably your children in the future will have gotten something from, or probably a friend somewhere will have probably learned something from. So yeah, two things. It's very okay to make content without the aim to make money. Secondly, if you're making content and social pressure is pressuring, you can take time off and come back, right? But to stop completely will just defeat the purpose, except that's your new aim now is to stop, and that's fine. All right. So just find the balance between okay, coming on, going off. When you feel like it's becoming too much, you can take a break, maybe 2 weeks, go and chill. You can travel to the Bahamas, go and surf life. then come back, continue your life again, or continue your posting. And also, I would say that, making content comes with certain perks, like, good and bad perks. Like, funny how when you were talking, like, you already sounding like a celebrity, you make content, celebrity, give me autograph and stuff like that. Right. So just have that in mind that, making content, putting yourself out there will draw eyes to you, whether you like it or not. It's just that would happen. Right. Only if your content just sucks and it sucks really bad. And funny how even if it sucks, there still be people that be like, I mean, then you not get, a different type of audience. Right. But just know that once you put yourself out there, you can almost not control, the result of what you get back. Right. You can only control what you put out, but the feedback is something you can almost not control. So that's something I'm just saying that just so you have that in mind that creating is the part you can control. Once you hit post or publish, you cannot control what will happen. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. Thank you very much, sir.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you. Thank you so much, Benjamin. So we still have Chibuzor here with us on Talent Talk, and it has been an amazing time. Chibuz was spectacular. He has dished a whole lot of insights. Now, Chibuzor, what is your advice for people who procrastinate and who keep saying, I do, I do? There's a lot of procrastination, and I feel procrastination literally happens with everybody. And then there are times where you don't even have the drive, or you know that if I take a break now, I just saw my Instagram reach and I've reached over 10,000 people, and I take a break and then I just come back, I see 5,000, it just dropped. How do I gather that momentum and take this back? It leads to procrastination, and sometimes even doing a whole lot and they're not really getting the result. But then procrastination, how do we deal with procrastination?
This still goes back to my answer. I believe this so much that yes, there's every tendency to procrastinate. All right, it happens to the best of us. But we just put off something, just saying we'll do it later. Right. It's no big deal. But I say when it becomes a problem is when, and that leads back to my main response, which is having a solid why. Right. Why are you doing this? Some people can never procrastinate because they have responsibilities, they have bills to pay. Right. So the first thing is, have a solid why. So now I'm speaking as a content creator to content creators. And this would be have a solid why first. Why are you doing the things that you need to do? If you don't do this now, what would happen? Right. Just have a why, right? And be very genuine with yourself. Right. Don't be be over ambitious, but at least be in the bracket of is it realism or reality itself, right? So that's the first thing. Have a solid why. I always preach this a lot in my classes. Why do you want to be a content creator? Like, it's not forget the fun. It looks cool. It looks cool is not why, right? I mean, it can be your why, but it's not a solid why. Why you do this for a long term. All right. So it has to be a why first. Then the second thing would be discipline, right? Very disciplined. Become a disciplined person, right? If something you do often, like you say, oh, you do something and you don't do it, then your some patterns needs to change, right? You need to start building new habits of consistency, right? When you say you do something, you need to learn to do that thing. And I'm not saying it will be easy at first, but you start small again this time. Or if you've always procrastinated, I don't know if that's the right English, but anyways, if you've always postponed, something or postponed something, right, every time, you can just start small. Okay, if this thing takes probably shooting, editing, maybe shooting, going out to record and stuff, and because probably it will take so much to script, and do this and shoot, film everything. You can start small. You can use maybe 2 hours every day to work on that thing. Building the habit of doing something. Oh, when you say you do it, if you say this week I want to shoot one content, that's a very big goal for you because I mean everybody have different things they do, in their life, right? And one content can seem very big to make for you. What you can do is, go through your whole week and see, be very genuine with yourself, right? Go through the whole week and see gaps in your day where you can actually take out time and do something. Find those free period in your week, and put things in those free period and follow up on those things. Another thing would be to have somebody that can maybe help you be accountable. If you are saying this week, I want to make one content for YouTube or one content for TikTok, have somebody that probably just, track you, at least help you in progress of coming out of procrastination, right? But first thing is you build the habits of planning stuff, right? Then, then the second thing would be following through on the things you say you will do. You say, okay, on Monday you would research, on this topic. On Monday, once it's 12 p.m., go and research. Try, even if it's 5 minutes, you can put into doing the thing you've said. It builds this mentality in you. Okay, when I see something, I have to follow through. Yes, there will be times when things will happen. It's not every time you'll be in the best mood or in the best time, right? But building that conscious habits of saying something and then doing that thing, just there's a way it rewires your thinking. It makes you more. It just makes you a better person, sort of, for lack of for lack of better words. I think it makes you, a more better person, right? When you say something and you are true to your words, when there's no excuse or when there's no hindrance, you say this thing and you do it. So yes, first thing is have a why. Second thing is, build a new habit of, discipline and, is it commitment or following through on the things you say you will do, right? Then lastly would be to have somebody you can be accountable to, just to track you. Oh, this week I said I'll post one video, but this is why I didn't do it. I was able to do this, right? But I wasn't able to do this because of this. I mean, just having that track, helps you, makes you better and beat or come out of that habit of, procrastination. Because trust me, it's a very terrible habit. It can be cool, but it can be terrible too. Because when you do it for so long, you just be that person that just say something that doesn't just follow through, and that's not who we are in 2026. 2026, we cut our coat what oversized as we.
We have audacity. Audacity is the word. Okay, now
Yeah.
cutting our coats to our not in our size. I mean, how would I
Oversized,
can't
oversized,
really say
oversized.
now. Okay, so cutting your coat oversized, as Chibuzor
Yeah.
said, you have been cutting your
So,
coat
so
oversized on
I did
Instagram.
not say it.
We
So
see we see we see the brands that you work with, and pretty much it's been really, really amazing. I must tell you that the brands Amaran, is it Teslin, or have a whole lot.
Celestine.
How do one as a creative or even a talent at this point get the attention of brands to do things for them or collaborate together or be even brand ambassadors? What are the key strategies you think you can share that has worked for you that's likely to work for us?
Um, I'll say this again for the last time. Hopefully, have a strong why, because this is where this is how the brands can also see themselves in your content. Having a why helps you tailor your video making or your video creation process, to the kind of audience you are, catering this content for. Also, subconsciously, to the brands you want to work with in the future. My goal is help people do more with less. Help people, do more with the gears they already have. So that's in itself already set my path for me. The kind of brands I can work with are somewhat tech brand, gadget brands. So you see how having a why can at least set you on the path, right? That's the first thing. Then second thing is my style of content, right? The way I make my content, right? I make sure that they look a certain way, they feel a certain way. I take time to produce my content, because when I speak with clients, I don't say make. I say, oh, for this to be produced, for this to be this, for this to be that, blah 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 blah. So I use the term produce because it takes efforts to produce this content. Even if it's 10 seconds you are saying, that's taking maybe a whole day to make that video, right? So the Second thing is, have a good work ethic, have a style, have something that people or brands, can see. I mean, oh, we like this style of content. Yes, having a goal is one, but having a good packaging is another thing. How you present your video to your audience and how is how the clients will see or will be attracted to your kind of video. But ultimately, have a why. Make sure your why is something brands can buy in, right? Make sure your why is something, that in the future, if your aim is to make money, brands can see themselves in your content, right? If you make, fashion videos, right? Package your videos in a way that, the brand you want to attract, right, can see themselves in that video. I mean, before I started making content, I think I said this before that, I had a really genuine thought or thinking to myself that do I want to be 30 or 40 and be dancing on the internet? And my answer was no, right? And that, made me focus, and that changed how or my direction of making content, the whole cinematic stuff, right? Trying to make it look and feel a certain way. It's weird because sometimes people don't think, because now that I'm talking now, people now see me, oh, so you're Nigerian. I'm Nigerian, oh, right? All right, and that's because of the kind of brands I wanted to act. Yeah, something that kept my mind was while I had that thought of 30 and not dancing, the main thinking behind it was the kind of brands I want to work with. I knew that the kind of money I want to make, I don't think Nigerian brands can be paying me that kind of money yet. And my aim was to work with foreign brands, be it Asia. I think it's mostly Asia and not American brands. Right? Those were my targets. And until now, I still my targets. But I mean, I think now I'm trying to be more Nigerian, trying to be a Nigerian. Is that the right word? But at least be a Nigerian creator, sort of quote unquote, quotes unquote. All right. So yeah, the second thing, so the third thing would be, what kind of brand do you want to attract? Are you a person that wants to do luxury kind of content? Then and you want to attract luxurious brands, then your content needs to look and feel luxurious. So my main aim or the summary of all I'm saying is one, have a good why, right? And make sure that why is something brands can buy into. Two, package the content very well, you know, let it cater to the brand and audience, you want to, approach. Then three would be, set a goal for the kind of brand you want to attract. And I think that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. So I think you really told us the strategies and you really did do justice to it and talking about the why. It just shows that a lot of us don't really have the why as to why exactly are we doing this or our why is not even strong enough to last us into the
Yeah.
whole journey of whatever we're doing because it's a long road. It's a journey. We're going to meet highs and lows. We're going to meet the days where we were not excited to do what we're doing, but then why keeps us going. And another thing that you talked about is packaging, how to package yourself. I think that cannot be overemphasized because I know I recently went for a master class and
Okay.
we talked about, packaging even more than your talent.
Yeah.
So you just have to, package according to, but the dress according to how you want to be addressed. Literally,
Yeah.
that's what you just talked about, right? So thank you so much, Chibuzor, for being with us on
Thank
Talent
you.
Talk. It is such a pleasure. It's such an honor. If you are not following Chibuzor on Instagram, please do well to do so. His handle is Hello
Please,
Chibuzor.
please help
Hello
me. Help
Chibuzor.
me.
If you're also not following Hailers, the number one platform that harnesses talent, please do also follow Hailers. And of course, the premium box, if you've not followed that, I don't know what you're waiting for. Why? I mean, I pronounced our guest name right. Yes, so you did something right now that's taking me back to a ritual. We have a good ritual, not
Oh, that's
a
nice.
that type of ritual. So yeah, we have a ritual here at Hilas, and all of our
Okay.
guests that calls on Hilas will always greet us, and we have a way we greet. It's literally I hail you. And our
Oh,
logo signifies that. It gives you that H sign, but the H is, somebody hailing you like this. And I think you have done that a couple of times. Yeah, so you're gonna do this and just tell us I hello, and then we will close because we've had we've gotten so much insight from Chibuzor today. Although he's not doing the giveaway, but I mean he's also
If I want
and follow him on Instagram and you know he can dash lights, money, gadgets, and everything, you know.
hello.
So he's that generous. He's that generous. You know, this is what healers also do. Healers every week we come up with new challenge and whoever wins, most of the time we get two winners and we support them with what they need when it comes to their content or talent rather. It could be cash, it could also be kind. I think that has really done a whole lot for talents out there and it cannot be overemphasized. And every Tuesday is called the $10 Tuesday, where you come to perform. You know, it could be anything you know you're good at. If you want to sing, you want to be, if you want to dance, you want to draw, whatever you think you can do. And I mean,
I
if you're
have,
lucky
I
enough,
have,
you
I
get
have
to win
talent. You know.
$10.
I
If
have
you're
talent.
lucky enough to win $10. Yes, you win $10. So we're also open to partnerships, you know. I mean, hello Chibuzor, come and do partnership with us. Like Hellas is looking for partners, you know, to just spread the good work out there because we know that as talents, you need somebody to, you know, push you, whether we like it or not. It's not something you can do alone. And we've heard from Chibuzo, he had somebody that pushed him to a certain level, which is she, and they have built that relationship even outside social media and it's still waxing strong. So yes, Chibuzo, if you're ready like I'm ready like we are ready, all you need to do is just tell us I hate you with your two hands in the air and we would wrap it up. So are you
All right,
ready?
let's do a countdown. So you count to three, and we'll do it together. Hello.
Okay, so yes, quick one, Chibuzo, before you tell us, give us your final no, give us your words on marble, not your final words.
That's
Give us
I
your
know
words on marble. Yes, give us your words
my word.
on marble.
Um, hmm. If you're a Christian, yield yourself more. Yeah, there's nothing like yielding yourself. Trust me. Yield, be obedient, and pray, have faith, and also work hard. So yeah, that's it.
Yield yourself more, pray, have faith, and also work hard. These are the words of marble from Chibuzor Ossai, aka Hello Chibuzor, aka King of Lights, aka King of Cinematic shots, aka everything.
Swallow
Okay, so
it.
get us and then we close. Thank you so much.
Before I hail, I want to say a big thank you to Anne. Thank you to Hellas for having me here this evening. I mean, it has been an amazing time. Gisting. I can't even drop diamond. I mean, it was so much fun. I mean, I see the work you guys do, and you guys are doing so much for the creative, industry, for the talents in the creative business. I mean, it's a business, right? And I'm really, very honored to have been here to share with you guys. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for, making this evening not very regular for me, work, send emails, watch movies, and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I had so much fun. To everybody that joined, you guys are amazing. You guys are superstars. All right. So yeah, final. Healers, hello.
Hello, yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. From the
You.
back end team, all of the team in Hellas, thank you so much. I still remain the premium host, everything and for everything. I'll see you guys next time. For now, and the entire crew is bye bye. Thank you.